Okay, today is July 25th, 2026. This is our international study group for the CBAP, and this is our first question. The class has already had a chance to read it. What do y'all think the answer is?
I'm thinking A, Thea, interviews.
Tell me why you
Yes.
like interviews.
It's multiple store owners that he is looking at, discussing the very high level requirements. I would say a requirements workshop would be more dedicated, where he's going to be able to bring all of them on a common platform, which is quite unlikely given that it's still at a very high level requirements. So I'm going to rule out virtual requirements workshop. Survey is also going to be rather difficult. Uh, because he does not have an idea around the whole washing machine market, so I wouldn't think of survey. Focus group, uh, I am a little puzzled between focus group and interviews. Focus group is where he's identified these stakeholders and it's going to stick to a certain set of criterias and dedicated to the subject that he wants to gather information about. So I am going
Okay.
with interviews.
I noticed that they're in multiple cities.
Okay, I
Is
didn't see
there
that.
a time limit
Uh,
here?
yeah.
Multiple cities.
So they're scattered all over Indonesia.
In which case, I think now virtual requirements workshop also makes sense. Uh,
Um, okay. Jose, what do you think?
Yeah, I was also divided between interviews and focus groups, but as Chetna said, interviews will provide the high level, and then the focus group would mean that they will be working on a specific idea, specific topic after the interviews were conducted. But
One more. Sorry,
yeah,
I'll let you finish, Jose. Yeah, yeah, no worries. I wait.
but as they are in multiple cities, the virtual requirements workshop sounds good, but
Uh,
the interviews can also be conducted virtually. So I'm
That's
s-
true.
I'm
I just
still
noticed one keyword which says in the next line he wants to elicit high level requirements quickly. So if it's a workshop, it would perhaps need dedicated time from all of
okay.
them.
Yep,
Yes.
So if
yep,
it's
yep.
quickly, then perhaps. Uh,
Okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Multiple cities and quickly. Yeah.
So, what do you think the right answer is if it's quickly in multiple cities?
survey.
Mm, the virtual requirements workshop. I'm just not sure if I have seen this as a technique on BABOK on the slides that you gave us. It
Hmm.
just sounds a little bit too much virtual requirements workshop. It just I don't know. Maybe
It
I'm
doesn't
overthinking.
sound Babocky.
No, it sounds BABOK is usually quite general, not that much specific.
Hmm. You're right. You're right. Let's test survey because survey is the right answer. Uh, this is an appropriate approach to elicit information about customers, products, and high-level requirements from a group of people in a structured way in a relatively short period of time, especially if they're distributed. That's one of the two of the strengths about surveys are you can reach people all over the place because they're doing it individually and you can do it quickly. Surveys have drawbacks, although, however, because surveys, you have to structure them correctly and people don't respond well to them. They don't have a high rate of response. They don't often 100% tell the truth. Um, so And if they do respond, they might not answer all of the questions. They may answer the first five and not the last five. Just getting them to respond, period, to turn it back in is agonizing sometimes. So you got to know your strengths and weaknesses on each of your techniques. Incidentally, whenever you go to select exam and you're specifying which knowledge areas you want for watermark, if you select techniques in the past, in the old UI, if you added, I want to do chapter 7 and I want techniques, it's going to give you probably 60 or 70% techniques and not the knowledge area. So if you're going to focus on techniques, just do techniques on watermark. If you want the knowledge areas, don't add techniques in. It kind of adds it in for itself. Okay, let's go to question 2. Plan for requirements for use is an element of which of the following tasks? Is it plan business analysis approach, plan traceability approach, business analysis planning and monitoring, plan business analysis information management? Can we eliminate one?
Plan traceability approach. Oh, reuse. Okay. Hmm.
Can we eliminate one of these answers? Let's start with the top one, plan business analysis approach. Do we talk about traceability in the purpose of that task?
No.
So we can eliminate that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Traceability approach. Is this a task?
No.
So we can eliminate that one. Business analysis, planning and monitoring. Is that a task?
That's more of a business analysis planning and it's a K. No,
It's a
where is it?
knowledge area.
Knowledge area. Yeah,
So we can eliminate that one.
correct. Plan
What do
business.
you think about business analysis information management? Do we
I
do
think that one. Yeah,
traceability?
I think we go with D.
Yeah, we do traceability.
Right.
Oh, we go with okay. Ah, okay.
So reusing requirements can save an organization time, effort, and cost if they are easily accessible. So when we're in our planned business analysis information management task, the purpose of it is develop an approach for how business analysis information will stored and accessed. And in doing so, we also look at traceability.
Okay.
Okay. Next question. In order to plan the most effective business analysis approach, the BA must take into consideration which of the following? Is that information management tools, inputs from the business analysis performance assessment, the amount of time the BA has allocated to the initiative, or allowable metadata? Which one can we eliminate?
Available metadata.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't come across that, to be honest.
And
I'm looking at option B, outputs from the business analysis performance assessment. To be
okay.
the right answer. I'm looking at that.
Jose, what do you think?
Thinking the amount of time the BA is allocated to the initiative.
Okay. Tell me why you like that most.
It's kind of like the very first steps to organize and define how much time we have to conduct the business analysis for the project, and take that in consideration before we start doing something, so we can plan the interviews, so we can plan the elicitation, then requirements, read requirements, analysis,
Analysis and design definition.
yep, and design definition, the strategy. I think that will be the first step.
Okay. Chetna, why do you like B better?
I think I may have come across it in the Babok someplace. Performance assessment.
The rationale that that's what the Babok says is a really good one. Okay, so let's test B. We'll find out what the answer is. So the correct answer is outputs from the business analysis performance assessment. You're right, Chetna. That's what the Babok says. The idea that we're going to take our lessons learned and apply them consistently is a really strong idea in the Babok. They want you to apply your BA performance assessment throughout all the tasks, even if the task doesn't say this is an input. But for this particular one, you're right.
But doesn't really work that way in the real world, right? Yeah, it's more of a Babok
And
answer. I mean, how many times do we really consider performance assessment or whatever analysis we have performed?
well, we should though. And honestly, I really try to, but not everybody does. And teams are going so fast. They're so pushed to get to a solution.
Uh,
Even figuring out if they understand what the problem is a challenge for them to spend time on.
but just to identify the parameters, I mean, as a baseline, what you would, consider it to be a good business analysis that we have performed, how do we factorize it? As in, how do we know? How do we rate it? It's not a standard template, right? So from our
And
perspective,
no,
it will still look like, okay, we have it documented, it's been delivered, project completed. So it's hard to go back to pick gaps
it
to see.
is. It is. That's why I think that's why we got it put into the Babok so people would do it because we were seeing that it wasn't being done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. In which artifact would the proposed approaches to the address issues be found? So proposed approaches to address issues, what task are we in? I think we're still in RAD. No, we're not in RAD. We're still in chapters 1 and 2. That's what we told them we were going to do, right?
Yep.
So we're talking about artifacts or deliverables from chapters 1 and 2. Information management approach, business analysis issue log, item tracking, or business analysis performance assessment. Can we eliminate one?
I think business analysis issue log we can eliminate. It's not really an artifact where it's already an issue. Okay. I'm looking at item tracking. Proposed
Okay.
approaches. Sorry, information management approach. Hmm. Item tracking will mostly say the status, right? Rather than whether it is resolved or whether it's in progress or the
I
item
I
which is.
think that is the status. Is it resolved? Is it in progress? What are you doing about it? What are the next steps?
Right. Then I think we can rule out item trapping as well. It shouldn't be performance assessment.
Wait, why are we ruling out item tracking? Does it answer the question or not?
I mean, here it says proposed approaches to address the issue. So it's perhaps looking at what the solution options are like to address the issue. Item tracking, I'm wondering if it is only going to give us the status item and I mean the issue ID, the issue description, who's been assigned to it. when is the resolution date, what is the current status of it. I'm not sure if the approach is going to
I,
be.
I think
Yeah.
that those are approaches.
Okay, in which case then I think we'll stick by item tracking. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
that's going to have that feature or not. Okay.
So an approach to a child's dirty diaper, it's like, okay, this is the next step we're going to do. This is who's going to do it. This is how
Mm,
urgent it is. Uh, has it been resolved yet or not? All of those
mhm.
things would be in your item tracking.
Okay.
Let's test item tracking.
Mhm.
Okay, this is confusing.
Hmm.
The
A
BA
technique and
performance
not a
assessment is not only includes results, variances, and root causes, it also documents proposed approaches to effectively address performance issues.
It doesn't really say it's a performance issue,
It
right?
doesn't say it's a performance issue, does it?
Yeah. It's a vague question. This one would have been
That
really.
that is not a great question. I'm flagging it. So
Yeah.
flagging it doesn't tell them anything. It just makes me feel better. It
Hmm.
says that it's something we would come back to.
Okay.
So, proposed approaches to address performance issues would be found in your performance assessment. Since the question is written so poorly, I'm going to give y'all that as not a wrong answer.
Mhm.
Let's go on to the next one. Elements included in the planned business analysis approach task include which of the following? So we're in planned business analysis approach. Is it planning approach, performing stakeholder analysis, business analysis activities, timing of business analysis work, complexity and risk acceptance, planning approach, formality and level of, let's go this way instead. It looks like planning approaches in three of them. And it's on in all four of them, so we can eliminate looking at that one. It's obviously there. Perform stakeholder analysis is in this one. It doesn't look like it's in all of them. Do we need performing stakeholder analysis?
No.
Okay, we can eliminate this one then.
Yep.
Okay, then formality and level of detail is in all three of them.
I think we go with that. I mean, the formality and level of detail is required.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Business analysis activities is in two, is in all three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also
Timing and
good.
business analysis work, timing, timing is in all three of them. Risk and complexity, risk and compliance is in this one.
So in
I'm
all the
sorry.
three.
Let me say it right. Complexity and risk is in this
It,
one.
yeah.
Okay. And then acceptance. This one has attitudes. Do we need attitudes?
No. No.
So we can eliminate that one. Okay, so this one has communication needs and this one doesn't. Do we need communication needs?
No.
So is this the correct answer?
Yes. Planning
Yeah.
approach. The methods.
You're correct. These are the elements in planned business analysis approach task. As you work on learning the inputs and outputs of the different tasks, I highly recommend that you start with what's the task name and what's its purpose. If you don't understand the purpose, the rest of this stuff isn't going to make any sense to you at all. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you won't understand why you have these as needs if you don't know what the purpose is. You won't understand why are these the steps to achieve the task if you don't understand what the purpose is. Some of our task names do not explain the purpose very well. So please start with the name of the task and its purpose as you go into the rest of the information about the task. Okay, let's go to number 6. Popper is a business analyst for an initiative. The organization is undergoing restructuring and introducing changes to the existing business analysis approach. She has been asked to assess each proposed change. The results of her assessment must support the decision-making and change control approaches defined by which of the following tasks. So the decision-making and change control approaches, is that approve changes, plan business analysis governance, assess requirements changes, or business analysis performance assessment? Which of those is not a task? Are they all tasks?
Hmm. Plan, business analysis, governance.
I would remove the ones that have changes.
Okay, so we're down to plan business analysis governance and business analysis performance assessment.
Business
And business
performances.
analysis governance is a task.
It
Yeah,
is?
and performance assessment is not a task. Is what's the name?
The task name is identify business analysis performance improvements.
Yeah, yeah,
So this is the one we believe is a task,
yeah.
and
Okay, yeah, yeah. Must support the decision making and change control. Who has the authority to to decide?
that's the key. That's the key. That is our governance. So decision making and the change control approaches is all governance of our project. The governance process identified the decision makers, the process, the information required for making decisions. Keith is scheduling participants for a workshop associated with a highly debated project with an aggressive timeline. He must ensure that he has everyone's buy-in on the session objectives, purpose, and the process, as well as give them time to review the supporting materials. He sees all the stakeholders are available in 2 days, but not again for almost 3 weeks. When should Keith schedule the workshop and why? 3 weeks because he needs time to prepare the stakeholders for the event and give them time to review the supporting materials. 2 days because the project has an aggressive timeline, which has to be met no matter what. 3 weeks to ensure everyone can attend the session. 2 days because if follow-up is needed, he can schedule a second session in 3 weeks. So it's a highly debated project with aggressive timelines. So which one should we eliminate?
I think 2 days, given that, the second statement says he must ensure he has everyone's buy-in on the session objectives, purpose, and process. Just to ensure everyone's available, 2 days is perhaps pretty aggressive when it comes to time, and he may not have everyone on board. So I'm looking at 3 weeks. 2 days is quite tight.
I agree with you. Jose, what do you think?
And there are supporting materials available to be reviewed. So yeah, I would say the first option. Yeah.
Okay,
The third one is also 3 weeks, but then it's just at a very high level, just to ensure everyone can attend the session. But we would also want them reviewing the supporting materials. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And it is the correct answer. By taking time to ensure buy-in. So you do your pre-work, let's have lunch together. Let me give you, let me catch you up on what's going to be happening. And then the workshop will have more engaged participants. In addition, participants will have time to review the supporting materials in advance of the workshop. Then they can ask questions before the workshop. Have you ever had a workshop or a meeting where you needed them to head a certain direction and they started going other directions?
Yeah,
But what about this? But what about this? You want to give them the opportunity to ask those questions before the workshop.
Yeah.
Very good. You got to the right answer by talking through it. You have been hired as a senior business analyst on a project that will span 3 years. You discover that solution definitions have been defined and tasks are performed in specific phases. What approach is the project using? Is this approach Agile, Scrum, Extreme Programming, or Waterfall? What can we eliminate?
Extreme programming and Scrum.
And agile, right? I mean, solution definitions have been defined, so the requirements are already cleared out. They have an understanding, so that's wherein they have the solutions in place, and tasks are performed in specific phases. I'm thinking waterfall.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a
Okay.
phased approach.
Okay, cool.
Waterfall is a predictive approach where tasks are performed in specific phases. Even though waterfall is not in the BABOK, it is the best answer given the choices. In some cases, you will have to apply a process of elimination to arrive at the best answer.
Mhm.
So, one of the examples I'd like to give you for this, and I know you got the right answer, but um, my friend Bob Churchill likes to talk about whenever he worked at natural gas refinery planning projects. He said, you can't say, we'll just sit this here for now. It's 10 tons. It takes a crane. You can't set it just someplace and move it later. So you have to know exactly down to the inch where everything is going to be put before the project begins. Very, very waterfall whenever you have high risk. So whenever you don't have the high risk like that, you can do more agile approaches. What are the inputs to manage stakeholder collaboration tasks? So manage stakeholder collaboration is our task name. So we want to know inputs. Let's see, 3 of them have stakeholder engagement approach. Do we need that?
Yes, stakeholder engagement.
Approach
Okay,
and
let's do it that way. So a stakeholder engagement approach. This one has information management approach. This one has business analysis approach. This one has business analysis performance assessment. Which one do you feel like is the best answer?
The one with the performance assessment.
Jetna, what's your vote?
I don't recollect.
Okay, we'll test this one. And Jose is correct. These are the stated inputs into managed stakeholder collaboration task. What does the business analysis body of knowledge contain? The standards and methodologies to which business analysts should adhere, the sum of knowledge within the profession of business analysis and what is considered currently accepted practice, a definitive sequence of tasks that the business analyst performs to properly analyze and evaluate the necessity of change to reach business objectives, or best practices in the industry. Can we eliminate one?
The definite sequence. Nothing is definite.
That is not the right answer. I agree with you. So what is the best answer?
Sorry, it's the second one I'll go with.
Okay,
B.
Yeah, yeah, the sum of knowledge.
you are correct. The primary purpose of the BABOK is to define the profession of business analysis and provide a set of commonly accepted practices. Stephen has conducted a number of elicitation sessions with a group of stakeholders from a mortgage loan department for their requirements as part of a new project. How will Stephen determine when requirements elicitation from the business group is complete? When all stakeholders from the group have shared their requirements? When business analysts have validated that all the items defined in the scope of elicitation are completed? When all stakeholders from that group have shared understanding of the requirements they have provided? When no new stakeholders are identified in that business group to share their requirements? What can we eliminate?
I think D.
Okay.
I mean,
And what do
identify
we think is
stakeholders
the
should have
best
been
answer?
one of the first steps. So,
I agree. That would be one of the first steps. What's the best answer?
C for Canada.
uh, I think B or C.
Tell me why you would like B over C, maybe.
Understanding of the requirements, yes, that's wherein they are sent for review, everything as part of the elicitation. But then again, they should also ensure that whatever has been defined as the scope of the elicitation are also discussed and agreed on. So
Okay.
understanding of the requirements, yeah, that should also already have been determined.
Okay. Jose, what do you vote?
C for Canada. I'm thinking it's when they have all shared their requirements, they have validated uh, and agreed that they are complete, and they have an understanding of the overall requirements that their own personal requirements will have to be downgraded in order to achieve the overall result for the project.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Chetna, with that explanation, do you like C better or do you like B better?
I'm going with 50-50 because the second one is talking about validating all the requirements of the elicitation points. So it's a little tricky.
Okay. Well,
We can go with C for checking. Yeah, I think.
let's go with C for checking. So the correct answer is when business analyst has validated that all the items defined in the scope of the elicitation are complete. So
Yeah.
even if they have a shared understanding of the requirements they provided, it doesn't mean that we filled the scope.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it, Jose?
For me, it was
Yep.
more validation as well. So I was a bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Which document should you reference to understand the forecasted costs and benefits of the proposed solution as part of the preparation for elicitation? Should you look at the document, the business case, the project management plan, the business need, or the solution scope? Which one's going to have the forecasted costs and benefits?
Business case.
Yep.
You're correct. It has assesses the costs and benefits of proposed solution, which is what this question's asking. It lists estimation as a technique and prepare for elicitation to estimate the costs and benefits. The business case provides all those estimates. According to the BABOK, which of the following are tasks listed in the elicitation collaboration knowledge area? So, prepare for elicitation is all of them. Conduct elicitation is in all of them. Confirm elicitation results is in all of them. Uh, this one has document elicitation in
Mhm.
there. Is that one of them?
No.
No.
Okay, we're going to eliminate that one. Business analysis information is in all of them. So we're down to the end. Manage stakeholder collaboration, identify the outcomes of the solution, or facilitate stakeholder engagement. For the elicitation and knowledge area, which one is the correct last task?
A.
A or C? I go for A as well. Yeah.
A. A.
Correct. This is the correct list of the 5 elicitation and collaboration tasks. Good job. Samira has been engaged as a business analyst on the railway track design project for Monorail in Toronto, Canada. She is currently planning for approaches she will take to perform various business analysis activities. What is a key driving factor when considering the business analysis approach selection? So, as she is working on the business analysis approach, think about what task she's in. Organizational standards for business analysts, business need for the project, stakeholders' preferred approach, project-specific standards for business analysis. Which one can we eliminate?
Business need for the project.
Okay, and what do you think is the best answer?
I feel this is also something similar to a question we may have seen earlier. And I recollect it was something about what the organization already has standards. Uh, I'll go with eighth, yeah. I mean, this question sounds pretty familiar, something we have come across earlier.
Okay. Jose, what do you go with?
I will go for B, understanding what is the need of the project in order to be better prepared for it.
Okay. Jenna, do you change your answer or do you stay with A?
Uh, approaches, business need for the project.
I
It can't
think
be project specific. It can't just be stakeholder. It can be stakeholders' preferred approach as well. Right? Either A or C, I'm going with. We can just try it here. Again, it's a shot in the dark. I'm not sure.
Find out. Let's find out.
Okay.
So
This
the
is
business analysis approach is shaped by the problem or opportunity faced by the organization. It's necessary to consider what is known about the need at the time of planning. Remember
ah,
earlier I was talking about the need is, for instance, building a gas refinery, a natural gas refinery. Your need is going to tell you if you can do a agile approach or if you must do a waterfall approach.
oh, bingo. This is the input to the business analysis approach. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, a prototype that is used to explore a basic size, look, and feel of a product will be manufactured without creating actual functionality is called which of the following? Is that called a proof of concept, usability prototype, functional prototype, or form study prototype? Remember, you've got to use a BABOK terminology here. Which one can we eliminate?
Proof of concept, because then again, it won't be about the look and feel. It was.
Okay. It has no functionality, so we can eliminate functional prototype, right?
Yeah, I think usability prototype.
Jose, what's your vote?
I am between proof of concept and form study. We had already one question where we defined the proof of concept. It's exactly.
But yeah, why wouldn't it be functional prototype?
It's no actual
Okay.
functionality.
Okay, okay, okay.
Without creating cache functionality.
Or form study prototype. Basic size, look and feel. Form study. Yeah, form study prototype. Usability is without the functionality, there is no point of, being able to test. or use the product. Form study prototype. Yeah, I'll go with D.
Okay, Jose, since
Yeah,
that's one
yeah.
of your options, let's test it. And you're correct. This model may also be used to model a workflow or navigation at a high level. So it's just let's try this and see how it works. Let's see, does it fit our need? Form study prototype was an odd terminology to me whenever I first started studying the BABOK. But you got to speak the BABOK language to answer the questions for the CBAP. Whitney is a BA working to identify quantitative and qualitative measures in order to identify performance improvements related to her business analysis work. Identifying quantitative measures was relatively easy. Qualitative measures are proving more difficult. You are a senior BA assigned as Whitney's mentor. Which of the following measures do you suggest? Effectiveness of work products, frequency of changes to work products, delivery dates of work products, or accurate estimates related to work products. So she's looking for qualitative quality. Which one of these can we eliminate?
Eliminate the dates. Dates eliminate.
What's the best answer?
I think I'll go with effectiveness of work products. Business analyst.
Jenna, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also looking at quality, right? So effectiveness or yeah, I think effectiveness of work products.
And you're both right. This qualitative measure includes asking stakeholders whether Whitney's work products are easy to use as a standalone deliverable or whether they required extensive explanation in order to be understood. So when we're talking about work products here, we're talking about her deliverables. She created a process map. Could they look at it and just understand it, or did they have to say, wait a minute, what is this? You know, you color coded everything, and you didn't give me the color key, or uh, a 60-page document to explain the purpose of something instead of 12 bullet points. All of the following are elements contained within the planned business analysis information task, except, so 3 of these are, 1 of these are not. Plan traceability approach, plan for requirements reuse, plan prioritization approach, or requirements attributes. So let's start at the top. Is this part of that task?
Traceability, prioritization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? Is this part of the task?
Requirement.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How about this one?
Prioritization. I don't think so.
Uh,
How about this one?
I'm yeah. Requirement attributes is there. Plan prioritization approach. Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
So
C.
you
I
feel
think
like
we go with C. Yeah.
Yeah, C.
so C is the one that should be eliminated?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is not a stated element for this task. Good job.
Element, okay.
I'm going to step away for just a minute. I'll let y'all read this on your own. I'll be right back. Okay. What can we eliminate?
Uh, I think conduct interviews and workshops to determine stakeholder requirements.
Yeah, eliminate that one.
Oh, plan stakeholder. Yeah,
And which one do you think is the best answer?
D.
Jose,
Oh
what
no,
do you
I
think?
meant to say sorry. I meant D. D for Denmark.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. This is a different question. My bad. One moment. I missed the last one. I was. What were the when conducting the identify business? Define assessment measures. Yeah, determine assessment measures. Yeah. I go with A. BB. Mm.
Okay. Jose?
Or A. What constitutes effective business analysis work? Can I switch over, Thea?
Absolutely.
I'll go
Yeah,
with A.
yeah, me as well.
Okay.
This is
B.
the first element within the task. Consult organization performance standards if available to understand expectations for BA work the organization may have already defined. So we need to see what they want. Here's a good example of this. I walked into a new contract several years ago and found out that the PMO had very, very specific forms that they wanted filled out on every project. That way they could keep track of who the stakeholders were and what the timeline was. So they had things that I had to do for that project. Before any business analysis performance changes are implemented, who should be consulted to assess how they might impact the initiative? Who? Which stakeholder? The project manager, implementation SME, the sponsor, or the domain SME?
Domains me.
Jose, what do you think?
You got change as well. How they might impact the initiative, the domain SME or the sponsor. The sponsor is the one who will give the approval. The domain SME is the one who is actually gonna suffer or benefit with the change. Yeah, domain SME. The project manager.
Hmm.
So the project manager is going to be the one to keep track of timelines. And for instance, um, we're going to say we want to we want to start having meetings every single week instead of once every 2 weeks. We want to have meetings in person instead of virtual. That's going to change the time required by each stakeholder. It's going to change if they have to travel or not. The project
Oops.
manager is going to be the one to say, wait a minute, we don't have that built into our schedule. Wait a minute, we don't have that stakeholder even on our list right now. Do we have access to it? I mean, the project manager is going to be the one to talk about whatever you want to make your changes to your performance, how you're doing your work. The project manager says, wait, let me look at the whole initiative. Now I want to say the domain SME, if we were not only in the BABOK, the domain SME could be the project manager he's the domain SME for the project, right? But
Yeah.
in this case, the BABOK is very specific that the project manager needs to be consulted to see how it's going to impact the project.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
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 Which of the following guidelines or tools provides results of previous evaluations that should be reviewed and incorporated into all planning approaches? Expert judgment, business analysis performance assessment, business policies, or methodologies frameworks?
Business analysis performance assessment.
Yeah, I'm
Assessment.
also performance assessment, but it says guidelines tools. Okay.
Oh, you're
Okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
These assessments provide the results of previous assessments that should be reviewed and incorporated into the current initiative's approach. The process of two or more people or organizations working together toward a common goal is the definition of which of the following terms? Conflict resolution, collaboration, elicitation, or compromise?
Yeah, collaboration.
Which one? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say collaboration as a final answer.
Okay, Chetna? Let's test this. Collaboration is the act of two or more people working together toward a common goal. Okay, next. Benita is the business analyst for her organization. Sam is the data analyst who's asked to sit with Benita for a minute in the cafeteria to give her information he believes is relevant to her project. Sam continues by describing seemingly complex data flows. Which of the following is the next logical step for Benita to take? Remember, this is according to the BABOK. She should schedule a workshop with relevant stakeholders to construct a data flow diagram. Refer Sam to the data architect so the information can be included in the designs. Ask Sam to send an email documenting and more thoroughly describing the information to ensure understanding. Ask Sam to access the requirements documentation in the project share folder and add the data requirements. Let's eliminate one.
Construct the data flow diagram.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute here. I think we can rule out C, given that, it was just a catch up in a cafeteria. So he obviously does not have the time to sit and document and share everything for understanding. And also, in terms of providing access to the shared folder, I think C and D can be ruled out. Uh, I'm thinking B.
Okay. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, B for Bahamas. Yeah.
Ah,
So here's the deal. I agree that the data architect needs to be in on the conversation, but just sending him to the data architect is going to potentially cause trouble. You need to
okay.
be in the conversation yourself. So the
Okay.
workshop is going to be a better answer.
Mm-hmm.
The BABOK says that unplanned or uh, information derived, elicitation, derived from just-in-time activity, which is unplanned, might require deeper explanation through a planned elicitation activity. Since it was complex, it requires additional elicitation activities to thoroughly understand Sam's information.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting to the end here. How
Hmm.
is mind mapping utilized to prepare for elicitation tasks? Now remember, according to the BABOK, used by the BA to identify which sources of business analysis information to consult, used to estimate the time and cost of BA tasks associated with planned elicitation events, used by the BA to identify which sources of BA information to consult and which elicitation techniques might be most effective. Mind mapping is not a suggested tool for this task. So let's first, is it a suggested tool?
Oh, I would think not.
No? Okay.
In for elicitation.
So
Elicitation. Hmm.
what should we choose as the best answer?
No, it is a tool used for elicitation, drawing up all the ideas, people involved, the systems.
Mm-hmm. So mind mapping is a tool listed in the list for elicitation task.
Yes,
So what
okay.
is the best answer?
Yes, let me identify which are supposed to estimate the time and cost.
Then
I'm
it would be
divided.
C.
Yeah, me as well. I'm divided between C and A.
I think C, A is a subset of C, right? I think A and B together is C. elicitation
Okay.
techniques,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
business analysis information. Mm, we
Yeah.
try C. Yeah.
And you're correct. These are effective uses of mind mapping technique for this task. So according to the Babok, it is. However, I've used it to figure out who to talk to. Which technique might be most effective is like the next step out. And I guess you could just extend your mind map for that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Number 24. You're the business analyst on an initiative and you are preparing for a elicitation of a new business opportunity. What is a prerequisite for conducting a elicitation? So, what is your input that you have to have before you start conducting a elicitation? You need authority granted to you from the sponsor to utilize resources for the elicit requirements process.
No,
You need to receive permission from functional management to interview and elicit requirements for the stakeholders.
no,
You need to determine which elicitation techniques are needed for requirements gathering. You need to ensure that all needed resources are organized and scheduled for conducting the elicitation activities. Can we eliminate one?
B and A.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking D in terms of prepare for elicitation. I think resources and schedule. Uh, Sort of recollect reading that in the BABOK. But again, elicitation technique is also equally important. Mm,
Jose, what is your vote?
D for Denmark as well.
All right. You are both correct. The prereq for elicitation process includes gathering of all resources needing and scheduling the resources for conducting the selected elicitation activities. Incidentally, I believe this is the one that the PM is responsible for helping you get people if you're having trouble getting them. It's like you can sick the PM on, go let that person's boss know we really need them to be involved. Okay. Does the predictive or adaptive planning approaches place more emphasis on requirements prioritization? Which one is more talking about prioritization? Both approaches place equal emphasis on the requirements prioritization. Adaptive approaches place more requirements on prioritization. Prioritization of requirements is a low priority for both approaches, or predictive approaches place more requirements on prioritization.
it would be adaptive, agile. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So, yeah,
right.
anyway, we can
When
partner me and Jose for writing this exam. We're going to feel so much more better,
Yeah.
confident answers. If only there's a
Yep.
way.
I would like to say that every single class has had that same response. Can we just take it together?
I know. With
Yeah.
you, Thea, as well, if
Well,
possible.
of course. That would make it so much better if we could all just sit in a room and say, yeah, that's the right answer. Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the benefit
More
of
fun.
us having this conversation. So
Mm.
y'all are knocking the first two chapters out of the park. We're doing really well. So what do you want to do next week? Do you want to do all six chapters again, or is there a certain chapter you want to focus on?
Can we look at techniques alone, Thea? Is that an option? I mean,
Yes,
I haven't gone
absolutely.
through all the
Yeah.
techniques
Yeah.
yet, but can we
It,
do only one session
it would
side?
be this one, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's going to go through just techniques. And it
Yeah.
may
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
some scenarios, and they're using this technique and what's the benefit of the technique, but it's just going to focus on technique. So, yes, absolutely. I
Okay.
do encourage you to go into the Slack channel and look at all of those packets that I put together for the techniques. Number
Okay.
6 is specific to diagrams, so things like crow's foot notation. Number 8 is specific to the financial formulas and the time formulas.
Thea, are
The
you
math.
sharing something when you refer to?
Yeah, yeah. Just
Okay.
let's go in this way.
CBAP study group techniques, group 6, 5. Okay. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
The Slack, I'm on it. File
Let me
repository.
go into this one.
Ah, CBAP techniques. Okay. Which group was it? Group 8, is it?
Uh,
Um,
for which one? So
I
let's
mean, the
go in
one which is.
international file repository. So let's see. Group 8 is the math formulas.
Okay.
Group 6 is the process maps or data maps. Things like
Mhm.
crow's foot notation, cardinality, how to read it. Because you will be given some diagrams in the test, and it's like which one it explains this connection between these two, and you got to be able to tell what it means. But
Mhm.
I put all these together for you, including the word problems and logic problems.
Mhm.
And if you
Mhm.
have any challenges between the difference between requirements and designs, I put this is only 3 pages. It's not a lot.
Okay.
And just in case you don't remember, I'm going to show you what's in these. So first it tells you where it's used. Then it's going to tell you the learning objectives of this document. Let's jump down to this. Then here's the notes for each technique, and it's like a whole page of explanation, pretty much what the Babok says, of the information about that technique. And some of them are 2 pages. Look at that, 3 pages, 3 pages about that one technique. And then here's data dictionary, and then
Okay.
here's data modeling. And then we're going to go down to, looks like I skipped some pages. Is your answer sheet. And then here are your questions. And these are like the easy questions. And then I did
Mhm.
it again. Oh, I didn't do it on this one. So you got questions that you can test yourself. And then at the very end, it's got the answers.
Uh,
Well, it should. Looks like I need to update this. It didn't all come through. But these explanations I think are easier to understand than what's in the Babok itself.
all right.
In fact, this one right here.
I know you had suggested picking on two techniques earlier when we started these sessions, but then I haven't had an opportunity to run through the techniques bundle yet.
I
It's kind of,
understand.
yeah.
This page right here, the difference between the Jordan and Gain Saracen,
Hmm.
it doesn't explain it well in the Babok, but I figured out how to explain it well. And in my CBAP there was a is this a Jordan or a Gain Saracen diagram? And it's like you're making me crazy, guys. So I put it in here for you.
Super. Okay.
Okay, guys, I will see you next week. We will work on techniques.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
Thank you, Kate.
encourage you, if you have the funds and you have the time to jump in and get your own membership through the watermark.
All right. I'll look that up.
yeah,
And also,
yeah.
yeah, I'm starting a new job on Monday. Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Still a little puzzled around how I would be able to manage looking after my kiddo and also starting off work. I've given this option to, choose remote work from home for now. So hopefully I should be able to juggle the two. Let's see how it goes.
It is a challenge and you keep yourself on mute a lot.
Yep, I do that.
Okay,
Thank
I'm going to stop the recording and